Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to Lunch with Joy. Sorry for being late today, but today we are going to talk about the $3 trillion mistake. What errors using AI can cost your business. It's scary. And I keep telling you, it's so important for you to be able to check everything that comes from AI. If you do not check it, you can end up with problems, major problems. Maybe not $3 trillion, but that is, according to Harvard Business Review, that is what U.S. companies last year lost because of mistakes that were made by AI that businesses trusted. You have to check everything. Everything needs to be checked. You need to look at every number, every word, and particularly if you're quoting something, you need to make sure that the words that you're quoting are correct, that they really are saying what you think they're saying, or that it's not just something that AI made up. I frequently will get, when I ask it to confirm a quote, if they can't find it, they say, well, it's that's sort of what the expected is. No. That is not what we want. We want the exact. We want to know that this is what it is. Not sort of, not maybe, not almost, but this is what the research says. This is what it is doing, and this is what you can trust. You need to make sure that that is what's going on. Otherwise, you're going to end up like too many other businesses that just trust AI and publish things and let it go out there. It is frightening. It is scary. And I don't want you there. I want you to be successful. I want your business to be among the leaders, to be one of the top businesses that people can totally trust, because they know that if it comes from you, it's going to be right. It's going to be what they need to know. It's going to be the truth. It's going to be honest. It's going to have everything there, and they can trust you. Have I ever done something where I couldn't be trusted? Probably. Will you? Probably. We all do it. It is something, we all make mistakes. None of us are perfect. You've heard me say it many times. The last one that walked on water died over 2,000 years ago. So we are just needing to make sure we can be as correct as possible. We'll never be perfect, but we want to make sure we do not blatantly make a mistake. We don't want to put an error out there just because it's an error, and just because we said, oh, well, we're not going to check it today. We'll check it tomorrow. You check tomorrow, and you find out that it was wrong yesterday, and you put something out. If you relied on that to do your pricing, I'm looking for the statistic, and the one company made a 1% pricing error because of trusting something from AI, and that 1% pricing error cost them 8.7% loss. 1% pricing error made an 8.7% loss. So it doesn't make any difference what the numbers are. If you lose something, you got an 8% loss, it's going to be a problem. It is going to challenge your business. No matter what you're doing, no matter where you are going to have problems. If you're only doing $1,000 a year and you lose 8% of something, that's a big loss. It's a bigger loss for the very small company, than it is for a General Motors or any other, an ExxonMobil or any of the big companies. They can afford to lose that. But you and I, we can't afford to lose that. We need that. So we have to check everything coming out of AI. And I am just so critically, I'm stuck on it because I don't want anyone to fall into that trap. I don't want anyone falling down into the hole. I want you to be the one that is the rising star, that is the one that is up there on the pinnacle, that is able to do what you want and be able to make the profits, make the generate the income that you want to be able to generate, and keep the leftovers, not have to give it away, either because of a lawsuit or because you just made a mistake and didn't charge enough or figured something wrong, and it makes it a problem that is unending. So please check absolutely everything. And what do the statistics give me? What do they give me here? I'm going to read this one that AI printed out, even though I can't read too well because I just came from the eye doctor. My eyes are still dilated, but we'll do as good as we can. Companies, AI generated a proposal with enterprise pricing for a small business client, underestimating costs by 70%. Whew. 70%. If you underestimate costs by 70%, your business is right down the tubes. You won't be in business tomorrow. You won't be in business next week, next year. It's going to be a problem. So please check absolutely everything that is coming out and make sure that what is going on is correct. That's the first error. I said I promised you 3. The second one, legal compliance violations. AI does not understand what we go through in needing to make sure that we comply with all of the laws, all of the government requirements. And there are always a huge number of them. I was given something yesterday and found that there is this strange little law that all businesses have to file this report. And if you hadn't filed it yet, you've got until December 31st. And I know that this is in Michigan. Let me see if it's just Michigan or if it was, this print is too small, I can't see it. But I will check it and find out for you and let you know tomorrow, because it is a requirement. It sounds like it's a very basic, simple little form that needs to be filled out, but every business needs to file it. I'd never heard of it. I'd never seen it, but it came with one of the things that, one of the subscriptions that we get, and they're telling us you got to do this. And if you don't do it, you're going to be fined. And it was huge fines. So it's, oh my goodness, yes, you got to do it. You've got to make sure you're following all the legal compliance. Make sure that while you're there, you're not opening a time bomb. You're not setting off that time bomb. That the governments are just waiting to grab something, to get something, to do something, and to give you the problems. Because I know that it's not purposeful that they're doing that, but at times it seems like they're just out there to get the little guy. And the small guys, the you and I's of the world, we are the ones that are generating the economies. We are the ones that are creating businesses. We are creating jobs. We are creating everything, most everything that's going into our economy. So you want to be able to be there. Compliance violations cost financial service firms an average of $14 $8.7 million a year. The source is from Compliance Industry to Statistics 2024. That is a huge amount. If you're in a financial service business, you've got to really make sure you're up to date with all the compliance and everything that you need to be doing there. And from Thomson Reuters, 88% of compliance professionals feel overwhelmed with regulatory changes. And they're the compliance specialist. And if they're overwhelmed, you and I are probably more than overwhelmed. And we're going to sit here and say, but I didn't know. You don't know, it doesn't make any difference. They are still going to fine you. You are still going to have to pay it. You've got to make sure that you are up to date and know what all the compliance requirements are for your industry, for your state, and for your federal government. Yeah, in the U.S. I call it federal government, but for the national government, whatever that government is, you need to make sure that you are following all their rules and all their regulations. The third error is contract terms. Making sure that when you create a contract with a prospect for a customer, that you are able to follow and dot the I's and cross the T's to make sure that you follow exactly what that contract says you're going to do. Because if you don't, the infamous one, you've got the decimal point off. You miss the decimal point by one place. And that's a 10%, or depending upon which decimal it is, it could be 10%, 100%, 1,000%, 10,000, on and on and on. It could become a huge mistake if you misplace a decimal point. Or the one that they talk about here is the company that said they were going to give 24/7 service. Service is going to be available 24/7. I have service available 24/7, but I have a team that is available around the clock because they are around the world. They're not all just in one place. They are all over, so they can cover every single hour of the day. Doesn't make any difference what time you connect with them. There's someone there, and they are certified and going to be able to help you. And that is something that I have invested in. And I know what that price is. I know what that costs me to be able to offer that and keep that available for you. But you need to know, they didn't realize that the cost was different, that it was going to be something different than what they were thinking about. They needed to get in there and think and see, oh my goodness, now we have got to have somebody available around the clock. So that was extra cost, extra people, extra hours. People were working overtime. They were just under all kinds of craziness because they messed up. They offered the 24-hour service but didn't think about all the cost. You've got to make sure you've got all of your costs covered, because if your costs aren't covered, you're in trouble. So make sure everything, when you quote something, make sure that covers all your cost and also includes a profit for you. The most important thing is your profit. And you don't want to give that profit away because you missed a cost. Think about that. If you miss a cost, you just gave that cost went to your customer. They got that for free. And none of us want to be working for free. We want to get paid for what we're doing. We are worth it. You've heard me tell the story. The guy that comes in because the company can't figure out how to make their machine get going again, and it shut everything down, and it's a major, basically a city, and it just shut everything down, and they bring this guy in because none of their people could figure it out, and he comes in, and he takes the hammer and taps the machine, and everything starts up, and they are all happy, and he then hands them a bill for $1 million. They were upset because he only had to tap this machine once and make it run. But it's not the tapping. He charged them $1 for the tap and $999,000. $999,000. All the nines in there, filling it up to be the other part of the $1 million. It was not, they were paying him not for what he did, but knowing what to do. All the learning and all the experience that he had, that's what they're paying for. You need to make sure that you cover yourself the same way. You want to have everything in there, and you want you to make the money that you deserve to make. And you do deserve all of that. You deserve it, just like everybody else out there, and there is more than enough for all of us to go around. We can all generate the incomes and produce the services, produce the goods that we are looking to be producing, and make a reasonable profit. Once in a while, it's even unreasonable. And unreasonable can be good. It can be a good thing that you can make a very great profit, just like the gentleman that did the tap. But that's paying for all the years that he spent learning and knowing what to do. So, I got through those. I could go into a lot more. And you see me, I'm flipping pages because I'm making sure I'm covering everything, because my computer is now giving me hassles, and it didn't want to bring up any notes or anything else for me, so I had to thank goodness I had printed everything. But you need to take 3 steps, the 3 action steps I'm going to give you. You want to implement double checking every single protocol that you have, everything that you are doing. Make sure that you've got a check on your check so that it is going to be correct and everything will be accurate and right. You want to create an oversight committee so that if there is something that is going wrong, it will be spotted before it becomes trillions or millions or even thousands of dollars, because every dollar comes out of our pocket. And I don't want to be throwing my dollars away. I like them in my pocket. I like to be able to spend them. I like to be able to donate them, to give them, to do what I want to do with them. And I want you to be able to do the same. And you need to establish some type of an error prevention framework. How are we going to do that? It depends on what you're doing. It depends on the industry you're in. It depends on who you are and what you are offering. But you need to be able to make sure that you have a way of checking everything that is going on. You will find in the write-ups for everyone on every one of the social medias where this is posted, you will be able to get a prevention checklist to make sure that you are able to go through and check all the different things. It's available to you right now. Just click on it and you will be able to it'll come to you, it'll be emailed to you. You put your, it'll ask for your email address, and you'll put your email in there, and it'll be sent to you momentarily. It's usually within 5 minutes. That's all it takes, the internet, to make it happen. I made sure it was out and ready to go last night so that it is there. It's going to be there for you. So get your prevention checklist and make your comments. Tell me in the chat. Tell me what it is that you are doing, what you need, what you want, and how we can be of help to you. Because I want to be here for you. I want to make sure that we are addressing the issues that are important to you, and that we give you what is going to make you more profitable. That's my bottom line. Making your business more profitable and getting you to be able to keep that money. You want to keep the profits and not have to pay them out to the government or anybody else. You want the profits, we want them there for you. So, if nobody has told you yet today that they love you, let me be the first. I love you because you are you. And that is so very, very special. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing, for liking, sharing, and subscribing. And make sure you ring that bell so that you tap the bell so that you can get notified every time a new one of these is released. Because, as happened today, I may not be here exactly at 12:30 like I'm supposed to. And you will be able to get notified when the new ones come out. So, make it a profitable day, and may the profits always be with you.